Japan quarantines 3,700 on a cruise ship over the coronavirus from the Straits Times. And this is part 13 of alleged video from China. But first off, I want to play this guy. He's more closer to the truth than mainstream media is, for sure. And give a listen.
And let's talk about the coronavirus. I was going to bring you a typical video like I do where I tell you all the facts where like 350 people have died and 17,000 are infected, which makes it a 2% mortality rate, which you shouldn't be worried. And this is something that the Chinese government is being really transparent about, but I'm not. I'm going to bring you the facts that I believe should be brought forward. And here's what you need to know. What you're not being told is that there's a shortage of food. There's a shortage of medical supplies. There's a shortage of hospitals. There's a shortage of staff to work these hospitals, to the point that military medics are being brought in to work in the newly constructed hospitals. I'm sure you've seen the 60-second montages of hospitals being built, but what you're not being told about those hospitals is they're basically maximum security prisons with one-way doors, no visitations, and solitary confinement for coronavirus patients. You're not being told is that cremation companies out of China are having thousands of bodies brought in daily of patients of the coronavirus to burn instead of bury so that evidence can be hid. What you're not being told is that people who have reported to hospitals with the possibility of having a coronavirus are now gone with no records ever existing of them. Ever. What you're not being told is that personnel with machine guns show up at your doorstep and ask you to come with them without any freedom of choice of whether you want to go or not. What you're not being told is this is a massive cover-up by the Chinese government. And again, these are my opinions based on what I've researched and found. And feel free to do that research yourself or ask me for my sources, what have you. But if you seriously believe that only 17,000 people are infected by an airborne virus with a 2-week incubation period, you are silly and naive. Due to the time limit, I can't tell you a lot more, but do follow me and I will bring you updates as this comes in. And I will bring you the real updates, not just the covered up CNN article on how there's only 350 people that have died when that is a complete farce and a lie.
You decide. Do your own research and you decide what's going on. Okay. Internal video from crematorium in Wuhan. Let me see, next up. Someone failed to disclose he came from Wuhan and had been to everywhere. After he was confirmed to have coronavirus, angry people beat his family. This one says Chinese Army military troops patrol a town in Hubei province with batons. The population is asked not to leave the buildings. And I better not zoom in on this one. It may have copyright. which is another reason you can't get real news of copyright. Anything that has to do with government or disasters should not be copyrighted, I don't think. My view. Video in China of the Chinese government converting stadiums into field hospitals to transfer people infected with the coronavirus. A woman refuses to have her temperature taken. This is another facility of some kind. Video from Wuhan resident. Look at how many corpses left in the corridor. Forget about the fast-built new hospital. Forget about the low death rate. Forget about all propaganda. The Chinese are disinfecting everything. Extreme measures for something less dangerous than the flu is what it says. And this one probably has copyright too. Guys on a hoverboard spraying God only knows what is in that disinfectant. I got this. This is why I say there's probably 85 million under lockdown quarantine in China. It's another indication that that's true. Chinese city lockdown approaches Shanghai. Shanghai's 24 million. And there were 61 million before this, so that adds up to 81 million. Now think about all the small towns across China, mid-sized towns that are most likely under quarantine. And mainstream media seems to be asleep at the wheel on purpose. Here's some 3 evacuation style centers for patients with mild flu symptoms, 3,000 beds. Online netizens have questioned whether concentrating so many patients close together is a good idea. I guess I gotta start being more careful. I'm gonna get copyright issues left and right. See, I think I've already played this one, but I'll do it again just in case I forgot to play it.
ザラタバセブンに行くセブンに行くことで
都我去两者再来。
ザラタバセブンに行くセブンに行くことで
I've already shown that one. Okay, I think that one is it for that. Let me show you some breaking news here. There are indications that there is a cover-up. You can go to my website, thefutureofnews.info, to read that. In early January, authorities in the Chinese city of Wuhan were trying to keep the news of the new coronavirus under wraps. That's early January. They knew about it in early January. And I think that is it. Let me see. I just want to reiterate, possible 85 million people under government lockdown quarantine is far more dangerous than the actual virus itself. Got video of Bush Jr. talking about quarantining parts of America in case of a flu outbreak. Quarantining parts of America. That's from a president. Okay, that's it. I appreciate y'all watching, and we'll talk to you soon.